brunchbarons.com. And don't forget to mention My Brunch Headquarters for 20% off and experience your stress-free Sunday at brunchatbarons.com.
Brunch at Barons, located inside Kingpins off I-29 and 52nd Avenue South in Fargo.
And welcome to a finally free-for-all Friday. This is Weather and Ag in Focus. It's 1:06 on this Friday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Justin Storm here with Ag Director Bridget Riedel and Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki. And do we have a fun show in store for you today with all the jokes, the humor, and all the awkward silences.
All right. You just came back to play with all the toys because I already heard you mooing the door on the
I'm going to have
barn.
so much fun today. Those watching us on Facebook and YouTube Live, I escaped from the void. That was the black hole that Dean and Bridget put me in for quarantine while I had the mystery virus for about 6 days.
Yeah, you literally infected a third of the building.
You know what? That's not my issue. They have poor immune systems. That's on them.
Oh, all right.
Eat some carrots, people. Man.
Oh, is it carrots?
I thought
Boost the
Zinc,
immune
maybe?
system. Eat some zinc, some carrots. You know, those who got sick proved that they don't eat vegetables.
or that they didn't eat enough dirt as a child.
That too.
Because that would have fixed you right up too.
I drank out of a garden hose. I'm immune to most things. And I eat mushrooms without washing them off, if that doesn't do it.
I just drink the water
That's
from the
right.
hose in the dirt, so I'm good for the most part too. But this mystery virus, man, did it put me down for a few days.
You were out.
Yikes.
Man.
That's going around.
Oh, fun times. Well, if you want to join in on our conversation anytime during the show, feel free to give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes studio line right here for Weather and Ag in Focus. That phone number, for those watching on the screen, 701-293-9000. Also, you can reach us via email during or after our shows with any weather-related questions, topics, or guest ideas at weather@flagfamily.com or ag@flagfamily.com. You can also message us through Facebook or just leave some comments on our videos on YouTube as well. The handle for that is just Weather and Ag in Focus.
We've got some pretty chilly weather heading our way this weekend. But
no,
next,
don't say it ain't
hold
so.
on. Here's the good news: is next week we're going to dry out. I don't see any rain in the forecast for next week. I know, finally, and warmer temperatures in the 60s.
You get two of them.
In the 60s for later next week. This is going to go. This is going to really help our ag community out as well, Bridget. In fact, for our Here We Grow project, you were out. In fact, I believe our next video is ready to drop on our YouTube channel.
Yep, it's just being worked on right now. It should hopefully be done soon.
So you were out there briefly in the field this last week, Bridget. How did it look in terms of, obviously we need the soil temperature to come up, but in terms of moisture, is it too wet to get out there yet? What did it look like?
So there's a lot of variability. I have had reports of folks that are on Highway 10 east of Moorhead where they're on some hilltops where they're actually applying some fertilizer and being able to cultivate that in. Meanwhile, where I'm at in the Red River Valley, as well as where our field is north of Fargo, it's still a little wet. It's slightly tacky, so I actually had a trowel out there and I dug up some soil, and it's still holding together pretty tightly. Our soil temperatures are not quite 50 degrees yet, which is ideal because that's when we get soil microbial activity to start. But also, if you put seed in cold, wet soil, it rots.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not awesome. And so, there's a whole host of items why we want to wait. We're getting closer to that time frame. And I just want to say a shout out to one of our sponsors, and that would be Red Wing Shoes on Main Avenue in Fargo. They are one of our partners in the Here We Grow project. And after watching me out in the field in all the mud in my flip-flops, there's a hint for the rest of you when you get to see the videos. Teresa was very kind and she helped me get a real pair of boots to wear out to the field for this project.
Yeah, I need to swing on over there because they're all custom fitted. They got some kind of cool technology that they use to scan your feet and find out where your arches sit, your your ball joints and your toes, where your pressure is distributed, and then they use all that information to pick out the right fit for you. And they got just hands down, Red Wing shoes. I mean, they're just the shoes to have, or at least the boots to have. I mean, they're great.
They are
quality.
a great pair.
They last forever.
Yep, they are a great pair. It's kind of like, Tupperware lasted for ages in your mom's kitchen. Your Red Wing boots will last a long time in your closet. How's that? And I mean that in a positive way,
Right.
please.
No, it's great. I mean, it's so hard to find something that's of quality and lasts a long time. And I know people that have had their boots for like 10 years, and they're beat up by this point, but man, they still wear them all the time. It's 10 years. It's a long time.
I don't have anything that's
But they're awesome.
shoes anyway.
Well, we have to go over there and get ours, because I was supposed to go over there with you, Bridget, on that day, but
Yep.
mystery virus kept me away from all the fun activities.
You know what I bet
You
that,
were not allowed.
yeah. You know what I bet that mystery virus was?
What do you think it was?
Well,
is there a sounder in here that I should play for?
Well, Tuesday is
Do you want some
You know what? Tuesday.
Serenade.
You came down with this early in the week?
last Friday?
Okay, and so it takes
Thursday,
a couple days. So Tuesday is chemtrail spray day. That's when they're spraying all the chemtrails, and I bet that was your mystery virus.
There might be something to that.
According
no,
to
there's
some
not.
ancient astronaut theorists.
You never know.
You two are toast the next time I'm in the studio. I am just
Oh
saying.
my! I hope people understand that we're joking. I know there's probably
no.
some that don't, but
I'm
They
pretty
don't.
sure they know we're kidding.
those are jokes, people.
Hey, Tuesday's not chemtrail spray day. That's Mondays. Come on, it's not
People,
Tuesdays.
look at the calendar. You get it in the mailbox once a year from the city.
Okay, so let's change this subject. Let's go on to something
can I
more
touch on
relevant,
something
shall
before we switch the topics real quick? Because we were touching on we're touching
Sure.
on the soil temperatures. What are the soil
Yep.
temperatures right now that you are reading in our field? Did you take a reading from our specific field? And then I'm going to touch on the surrounding area.
Okay, so I was not able to go to our specific field, but I was close. And so with the field, we were probably at about 42 degrees that day. Now, this is because there was no snow cover. You could see the black soils that had warmed up. There has been a little bit of sunshine. Also, the difference was I did this soil temperature at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon versus if we had done it earlier in the morning, that certainly would have shown a difference as well. What are you seeing around the region?
Well, what's the depth that you want to look at? I got 2 and 4 inches. What's the general one? 4?
That's we normally would go to a 4-inch depth.
Okay,
yes.
so with the 4-inch temperatures, 4-inch soil temperatures, basically up and down the Red River Valley, for the most part, it is upper 30s to low 40s, but there are some lower to mid 30s, mainly up in the Northern Valley, and then a few hit or miss spots down here in the Southern Valley. But for the most part, it's upper 30s to low 40s. So we still got a little ways to go.
We do, but things are coming along, and I know that it's hard to wait. In fact, just earlier today, I did a Twitter chat space with a grower west of Grand Forks, and he said, "Yeah, it's probably 2 weeks for him too." We do see planting going on west of Highway 83 in North Dakota. There's a lot of things happening out around Dickinson. We're spreading fertilizer at Garrison, so people are on the move. We're planting and we're getting going.
Well, and looking at some of the soil temperatures out west, they're right around the 50-degree mark, so that would make sense. Now, Bridget, can we?
Yes.
It is safe to spread the fertilizer even with the soil temperatures not at 50, correct?
We prefer that we let everything warm up before we go start doing that. But with fertilizer, if you spread now, if your ground is reasonably dry, if you spread now and incorporate, because you don't want it to volatilize, so you want it mixed into the soil profile, and you incorporate it, your fertilizer is going to sit there. It's similar to why we would do an application in the fall when it's cooler before our soil temperatures get too warm, because then it sits in hibernation until spring.
Okay.
Here's another question for you along those same lines. Does it depend on the type of fertilizer? And you'll see where I'm going with this, but doesn't it lose its potency after time? So if you're going to put fertilizer, either spraying or maybe some form of pellet, dry fertilizer, I'm not entirely sure. What's your better option? And if you did one, don't you typically want to have your seed starting to go shortly after it so you don't lose the potency of that fertilizer?
So kind of. There is a product out there that is coated in it's almost like a poly coating, so that when that polymer breaks, and it doesn't break right away, so when you put it in the soil, it sits until it's inundated with water or something that helps to break down that polymer coating, and then it's a time release fertilizer. So you do have options like that in the market. There are a variety of things that you can do, but it sort of can depend if you're using that polymer coating or not.
I see.
So we've got a few things going on there.
And we've got a special guest today, don't we, Bridget?
We do. And I really like the photo that Justin put together for this. So folks are going to see that on our live stream, and then also when it gets uploaded to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, etc. And our guest today is Daren Harmel. He is the director of the USDA Center for Agricultural Resources and Research in Fort Collins, Colorado. You guys have talked about this in the past. Isn't there someplace, the secret bunker, where we keep all of the seeds?
Yep.
Well,
Antarctica, right
I don't
next
know
to all the secret oil drills sites.
Well, I don't think this is a secret bunker because it's publicly funded, but we're going to have Daren talk about it when he joins us in our next segment. And I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say.
So
I don't know about
I'm
you
really
guys.
interested on this whole topic, because I think it's a really big thing that a lot of people have no idea that, yes, there are in fact spots where seed is stored just in case of an emergency. So we're going to get all of our questions answered. And if you have some that you would like to have answered, or just simply join in on the conversation again, give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes studio line, 701-293-9000. Stay tuned. We're talking Seed Bank when we come back.
Hey everyone, John Adams here. I hope you'll join me on WDAY Radio for my new talk show, Talk of the Town with John Adams. Every Wednesday from 11 to noon, we'll talk about issues that affect us all in the Fargo-Moorhead community. We'll talk taxes, the diversion, places to go and things to do, and of course, Bison and Viking football. We'll talk about issues that affect everyone in this great community that we call home. That's Talk of the Town with John Adams, Wednesdays at 11 on WDAY Radio.
You did it again, Fargo-Moorhead. Thanks for voting Fix It Forward Auto Care the best auto care of Red River Valley 3 years in a row, including the categories of Best Tire Retailer and Best Customer Service. Plus, Fix It Forward Ministry won Best Local Nonprofit. We're honored, and we promise to continue serving our great community, providing you the best auto care experiences. Fix It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair.
Fix It Forward Auto Care.
Aaron, a local company runs ads showcasing the experts in their field. I understand that this is one of the biggest reasons people continue to shop Wimmers, correct?
Yes, exactly. You can buy jewelry anywhere, but what are you buying? How is it different? Why is it worth the price? And what are your options? You'll leave Wimmers Diamonds knowing what we know, and that knowledge enables you to leave the store with exactly what you want, and you'll feel great about your purchase. Wimmers Diamonds. Visit our location at 32nd Avenue and 45th Street in Fargo.
Today would be a great day to treat your smile for charity. Dr. Jeff and the team at Designer Smiles invite you to whiten your teeth for charity, with all proceeds going to the Smiles for Life Foundation, helping children locally and abroad. Take-home whitening trays are just $199. That's right, just $199. Or the in-office whitening is $399. For details, call 701-298-9400. 298-9400. Treat your smile for charity with Dr. Jeff and the team from Designer Smiles. We've all heard the big news. Fox News fired Tucker Carlson. And now Newsmax is conducting an urgent poll asking you if it was right to fire Tucker. Newsmax also wants to know if you want Tucker back on TV. It's easy to vote in the Newsmax poll. Just text. They'll instantly send you the poll. Text the word ZONE to 39747. ZONE to 39747. I voted. You can too. Let your voice be heard. Text the word ZONE to 39747. And remember, millions of Americans are making the switch to Newsmax. After Tucker, you have a great reason to watch Newsmax every night. Rob Schmidt, Eric Bolling, Greta Van Susteren. Even President Trump says he likes Newsmax. I agree with him. So stand up for Tucker. Text ZONE to 39747 now. ZONE to 39747 right now. And vote. Text ZONE to 39747 now. And watch Newsmax every night. You'll love it.
It's back! Cleanup week is here and we need your help to make our cities look beautiful. Labor Masters has a spot for you to help clean up Fargo-Moorhead. If you're looking to add cash to your wallet, find a treasure or two, don't miss it. We pay $16 an hour and we have many, many hours available to work, rain or shine, so you can be sure to fatten that wallet. Come see us at Labor Masters, 1404 33rd Street South, just across from Cashwise, or give us a call at 701-566-8755.
Hi, it's Lon from Irie Insurance. Soon we'll swap snow for summertime. Boat rides and water skiing, camping in the RV, swimming in the backyard pool, or even a few rounds of golf. Unfortunately, these activities come with increased risks and sadly, accidents happen. Having the proper insurance can protect you from theft, damage, liability, and more. Experience the Irie difference. Let Irie Insurance take care of your summer risks. To find a location near you, visit us at IrieInsurance.com.
And welcome to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridget Riedel, Ag Director, along with Chief Crazy Meteorologist Dean Wysocki and his sidekick Justin Storm, meteorologist. So good to see you both. And just a quick shout out as well to Gowan Company. Gowan is one of our partners in our Here We Grow project. They are going to deliver to us a product called Affiance, and this is for white mold protection. It is a fungicide in soybeans. And our guest today, it kind of ties into the things we've been talking about, seed protection and a seed bank, it sounds like. So I'd like to introduce today Daren Harmel. He's the director for USDA Ag Research Center for Agricultural Resources in Fort Collins, Colorado. Hello, Daren. How are you?
Hi, Bridget. It's good to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And tell us about your facility and what you do there as center director.
Well, I noticed in your conversations before you talked about a secret seed vault, and we don't we don't have a secret seed vault, but we certainly have the world's greatest agricultural gene bank, and we do store hundreds of thousands of seed samples and animal germplasm samples as well. So we're really proud of the work we do here.
And Daren, go ahead, Bridget.
Yeah, I was just saying animal plasma. What? Tell me what that is.
Yeah, so we support the entire ag sector, not just the crop sector, but the animal sector as well. And so on the plant side, we store seed, pollen, anything we can regrow plants with. And same thing on the animal side. I know, and you're part of the world, you deal with animal agriculture as well. And so artificial insemination uses bull semen, for instance. And so we store a lot of that genetic material for animals as well.
I had no idea. That's crazy. I want to go back to the seed bank part. You said that you store thousands. How far back do some of these seeds go in age? I mean, what's the oldest thing in there that you got? Or something maybe that first comes to mind?
Yeah, I can't tell you the age of some of the samples, but we do store hundreds and hundreds of thousands of samples. For the major crops, corn, wheat, we're talking tens of thousands of different varieties of each of those crops and some of their ancestors, meaning the older varieties that were cultivated by either just natural varieties or that were cultivated by, native citizens of areas.
And Daren, is this, obviously this is in case of whether it be a nuclear disaster or something wipes out all of our, ag and plants and everything. Is this secured in a bunker somehow and would it be easily accessible? How exactly does it work?
Yeah. A lot of people think we're kind of the doomsday vault that you're talking about, but we're really not. We meaning the USDA National Plant Germplasm, distribute 250,000 samples a year to plant breeders around mostly in the country, but around the world as well. So it's not just for that what if scenario, some kind of nuclear war or something. It's really a very active collection. So we're helping producers every day and thousands of samples every day. So we're very proud of that. And it's not in a bunker. It is very secure. You could come visit. We'd love to have you come visit. We'll let you in the front door. But after that, they're very secure. We're not going to let you into the collection without, the proper security because it's priceless. We've got wheat varieties from the Middle East, and you know how hard it would be to go collect those samples over there now. So it's highly secure, certainly not secret, and it's publicly accessible to select tours, but very select because our job is research, not giving tours.
Right.
This is so cool, Daren. So I think you sort of answered this question, but I want to clarify. Literally, some of the seed, every so often, you want it replanted just to make sure it stays fresh, if you will. Would that make sense?
It is. So we have a team that tests the viability of seeds, because if we store seeds and somebody needs it and they don't grow, we haven't done our job. And so we have a team that tests those seeds on 10 to 20 year intervals to make sure when it's needed out in the field and you plant it, it's going to grow. So that's right, Bridget.
And how long are these seeds? How long are they viable? Are they, there's got to be is there a shelf life on them?
There is. And that's part of the research we do is learning, the difference between corn and wheat and rice or lettuce or tomato. How long can those seeds live in the freezer without needing to be replenished? And so that's some of the research we're doing. But if we do find a package of seeds that's not as viable, not as many of those grow as we think should, we send those back out to a National Plant Germplasm System site and let them know that the variety is having some viability issues, and they'll grow us out another sample that we store.
We are getting so many questions in our heads and others, and there's an email question, but before I get to that, Daren, where are you collecting your seeds? I mean, it's not like you call Gurney's Seed Company every year and ask for their new varieties, right?
Correct. Some of those are protected by patents, and we do store some of those, but we can't distribute those that are under patent. But a lot of the work is to previous plant expiration teams that went around the world and collected different varieties. So it's a very active collection. People all the time are sending us samples. There may be, again, these National Plant Germplasm System sites have a specialty. The corn site is Ames. And so Ames, Iowa is working to make sure we have samples there that represent what growers are growing as far as corn. And then they send us backup samples.
Okay.
Got a couple of email questions. I'm going to sneak in here real quick, Bridget. One of these emails is saying, I've wondered about banks like this. What are the protocols they have to take to make sure seeds don't get compromised? Or does he have to worry about cross-contamination at all? Like some corn seeds getting mixed in with, say, soybean seeds or out in the field getting out of hand?
Yeah. Again, if we're talking about the Ames, Iowa site, they're experts in corn. And so they're also experts in seed viability. Our technicians that prepare those samples to send to us are highly educated plant physiologists. And so they are very careful to send us just the corn variety that we think is in that bag.
Right.
Specialists, you guys, we're not going to get hired for this job.
Absolutely not.
You would have to go back to school and get certified by the American Association of Seed Analysts, because when you buy a package of seed at the feed store, right, it says the percentage of weeds, and it's highly accurate because we have to know. So we have the same certification for our seed analyst.
Right, and so I got one more.
Unbelievable.
I can only imagine. So I got another email question here for you that says, it sounds like you deal a lot with just the agriculture side of seeds. How many other seed banks are there like this in the United States? And are there any seed banks, as we were referencing earlier, that store more than just, say, the ag seeds, where it's seeds of as many different variety of plants in general, and they keep those under like lock and key underground in bunkers. Are there anything like that actually exists?
Yeah, there is. I think you mentioned the Arctic Circle earlier. I thought I heard you say that in Svalbard, Norway, there is a more of a doomsday seed vault. They only store seeds, and they put it in there, and they open it up once or twice a year, I believe, for the future when it's needed. It's not an active collection there that gets distributed. The difference in our vault is it's very active, but we store things like papaya and avocado because those can't be just put in a freezer. Those are put in liquid nitrogen. And so you guys should come. It would be a blast.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to be down there.
The diversity of the collection. Yeah.
There is so much yet to ask. I mean, we haven't even hardly talked about the animal side of what you're storing there, and we will after we come back from our break. Folks, it's 1:31 in the afternoon. Don't go away. This is a great conversation that's going on right now as we talk about the Agricultural Resources Research Center in Fort Collins, Colorado. We'll be right back.
They'll have you laughing right along with them. They're Bonnie and Friends.
1866. You could care less about this.
Okay. Are you putting words in my mouth? Why do you...
I'll put words in your mouth on this one.
Why do you think I care less about things?
Because it's a urinal. When's the last time you used a urinal, Bonnie?
Can't say I ever have.
Was I right, Bonnie?
Yeah, you're right.
1866. The patent for a urinal, no less.
And that's pretty important stuff, right?
Yeah.
Bonnie and Friends. Catch them weekday mornings beginning at 5.
Old Man Winter's moving on out, and it's time to put a spring back in your step. Hi, Teresa here from the local Red Wings shoe store, and I'm here to tell you that Red Wings are not only for hardworking individuals. We've got footwear for every occasion, and here at Red Wings Shoes, we have partnered with Polymental and Superfeet to offer 3D printed orthotics. So stop on in and check it out for yourself at 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo. Red Wings Shoes for ultimate durability.
Plains Grain and Agronomy Cooperative is looking for a full-time, self-motivated, organized professional to operate and maintain their agronomy plant and grain facilities, knowledge of agricultural commodities and services, and an ability to lift 50 pounds, safely and effectively handle products when loading and offloading according to company guidelines. Plains Grain and Agronomy has a great work culture, pay, and full benefits. For more details and to apply, go online to plainsgrain.com. That's plainsgrain.com.
If you're planning a big event for this summer, maybe it's a work function or you have a family gathering too big to host at your house, let O'Kelly's be the spot. Whether it's a grad party, groom's dinner, wedding reception, O'Kelly's has the space to make it great. And they will cater the whole thing with delicious food, a great outdoor setting by the pool, or indoors where everything is taken care of. They are attached to the Biltmore Inn, so out-of-towners even have a place to stay. Don't worry about anything. Talk to Tori at O'Kelly's, I-29 in Maine, in Fargo.
It's the season truck buyers wait all year for. Chevy truck season at Pucklet Chevrolet GMC. We finally have a large selection of Chevy trucks that are now available with special event offers like the new 23 Chevy Silverado 1500. And now is a great time to order your new Chevy or check out our new inventory arriving daily at Pucklet Chevrolet GMC in Valley City or PuckletValleyCity.com. Tradition, values, and family ties. Chevy, find new roads.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like, 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
And welcome to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridget Riedel, Ag Director, along with Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki and Meteorologist Justin Storm. And we're having a great time visiting with Daren Harmel. He is the Director for U.S. Department of Agriculture's Center for Agricultural Resources Research in Fort Collins, Colorado. And there is not a secret seed bank, folks. We all know about it now. And Daren, one of the things that you mentioned is you not only have plants, but livestock there as well. So are you retaining bull semen from certain breeds as well as embryos, or do you keep the full embryos, what I'm trying to ask, or are you keeping everything separate before you bring everybody together for a new calf?
I got a good question. And so in our agricultural gene bank, we want to store things that are alive, right? Or can be made alive. And so, yes, if it's bulls, we store the semen. And so that if the industry needs our samples, maybe there's a disease outbreak or to do testing, we can then ship those straws of semen out, have them artificially inseminated, and reconstitute those animals. So we're not, we don't do cloning or anything like that. It's just normal reproductive processes, but we store that material so it's alive.
And not just cattle, but you would think about sheep, goats, other animals as well, correct?
Correct. Whether it's plants or animals, all the agriculturally relevant species that you could think of, we store samples from them. Agriculture is always under threat from diseases, and so we stand ready, whether it's citrus greening or avian influenza, to help assist our country and the world repopulate those breeds, because they're just critical for our survival as humans. So we're proud of the work we do. Bridget, I hope you can tell how excited I get talking about it. And I'd love to.
Yes, this has been so much fun. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Daren,
and so,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, Dean. Jump on in there.
How long has this been going on? How far does this go back?
The plaque on our building says 1955 on the seeds. Now, there's been collections by individual breeders and things before that, but that's when the modern version of our building was built. The animal germplasm program, formality was started in, I believe, the late 1990s. So quite a while, and then we have capacity in our building to go on out 2050 and beyond, because the need's not going to change. The need's going to be there 50 years, 100 years. Down the road.
Bridget, did you want to sneak in your question next?
I do. I was curious, should I be sending you seeds if I find something odd in my yard? Do you want anything that you guys can just take a look at and compare, like biodiversity and species? Say I have a really awesome kochia plant versus maybe the one you have?
That's really not our role. If you're a breeder at University of North Dakota State, and you find something, you're going to work with the people in Pullman, probably if it's sugar beets, and be talking about those samples. And then if that curator in Pullman on sugar beets thinks that's important for us to store that sample, we'll store it. So we really can handle things like that from gardeners or just people with yard questions. We have a very specific focus on what we should be doing.
So we've been talking a lot about with the ag seeds and the seeds that we use a lot in general with agriculture, corn, wheats, so on. Do you do anything with different types of weed seeds? Any research that's done on those, or any aspect to that, or is it just a mainly focus on the ag seeds?
Yeah, mostly on the ag.
So how about
we do some work for other folks? Like we do store coral. Coral around the world is really declining, and we're trying to figure out why. So we just, as a benevolent act, store coral germplasm as well. So that's one example, but mostly the production ag that you would think of.
right? And that's ocean coral you just mentioned, right?
Ocean coral, right? I was just trying to think of something that's completely different, but we see the benefit for humanity of us storing that. But
So how do
mostly
you
focus on
how
ag.
do you go about storing that? Is it how does that work?
Yep. So and I am not a reproductive physiologist, and I can't tell you that I understand coral reproduction very well, but there's experts that do, and they send us, the male and female, I don't know if they call it, sperm and eggs, but the equivalent, and we store that in liquid nitrogen,
Okay.
which is negative 200 to 300 degrees Celsius, and that is living material, and we can give that back out to the folks that do marine biology, and they can regrow coral with that material. So it's amazing.
That's super cool. See, there's another thing that we didn't learn about this bank. That is super fascinating. So I don't know. No.
Can't figure out how to say it.
Well, I was thinking about how I wanted to say it, but then I was just kind of thinking it's probably doesn't need an answer. So I'm going to go into a different direction off of the coral. What would you say is in public eye of the facility and what you do and the other organizations across the United States that do all of this different banking of the seed, the distribution of the genetics, the research that goes on to it? What would you say is a big maybe misconception on the public on what you guys do? Or maybe there's something that goes around that the people are just like, oh, they're doing this and this and that. And in fact, that's not at all what you guys are doing.
Right. I think back to, you talked about kind of the doomsday vault or this. That's not what we do. Every day we as the system are going to send thousands and thousands of either plant or animal samples out to help breeders, to help industry keep U.S. ag on the forefront of the next threat, climate threat or disease threat or insects threat. So it's that's probably the misconception that collection is just sitting there waiting for some huge disaster and that we might need it someday. The answer is absolutely no. It is needed by the ag community every day. And we give them the material they need every day.
Cool.
So are other countries putting as high of a value on this as what you do, Daren? Are we the only country here in the U.S. that have these types of banks for animal and plant life?
I don't know of another one that has plant and animals, but there are hundreds and probably nearly 1,000 worldwide because humanity has realized the value of these type of collections, because the genetic diversity that nature created allowed nature to procreate and keep growing plants. And so we humans need that as well. So it's a pretty well supported worldwide, I would say, Bridget. We think we're leaders in a lot of ways. We are, but we're not alone.
Just the variability of storage that you have, things that are in liquid nitrogen to vials that stay dry to giant freezers. There's got to be just so many different habitats or environments for each one of these collections. I can only imagine how tremendously large that is. That's outstanding to me.
I'm proud that, I'm a taxpayer as well. I'm proud that my tax money goes to work like this, because it benefits you, me every day, and we don't even know it. So I'm so happy, to be able to associate it with this amazing facility and the agency that spends so much time and money dedicated to supporting agriculture.
Just tremendous.
It is. It sounds like a super cool just the whole operation and just the scale of it. I can only imagine that it's got some size to be able to house all of this and the distribution reach with it. How far across the United States do you go with the distribution? You said you get seed in and out, research and all that. How far out from where you're located do you guys go with the testing and planting?
Across the whole country, to Puerto Rico, to Hawaii. So
wow,
truly everywhere in the U.S. and a lot of places, a lot of again, the small grains, most of them developed originally in the Middle East. So we have samples from worldwide as well. It's not just native U.S. crops, because there's really very few crops that were originated in the U.S.
And Daren, are you the only place in the U.S. that does this?
We're the only backup. There's, I think, 16 or 17 of these stations. Geneva, New York focuses on apple. So there's 16 of those stations in the U.S., again, Puerto Rico and Hawaii, but we're the backup for all of those.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Daren, just a couple more.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. You can talk about citrus greening. We've had a guest on from Florida to bring that up to us.
That's a really interesting topic.
Yeah, and so it was, again, mostly in Florida. So our Riverside collection, the USDA ARS collections in Riverside, well, they were afraid that citrus greening was going to start destroying our collection there, our living collection in Riverside. So a few years ago, our scientists scrambled to back up the germplasm, the citrus germplasm that's grown naturally or grown at our site in Riverside. So that's just another example. We try to stay ahead of all these threats. And it was a monumental effort to back up all that germplasm, because if that living collection got wiped out, they will come back to us to repopulate.
Absolutely. So in our last few moments together here, Daren, we have a question that came in via internet. If you had the ability, is there a type of research you'd like to see get more funding or expansion for your facility?
Really just more of the work we do. It underpins U.S. agriculture, and that's not an overstatement. But I think the population in the U.S. is so well fed with cheap, affordable, great, amazing food supply that we don't always get the recognition. So just recognition of the work we're doing and how it supports U.S. ag and consumers every day.
If people wanted to know more, what's your website?
Oh, I can probably give you a long acronym. It's long, so let me get that to you and let you get it out. But they could search USDA ARS, and then the Center for Agricultural Resources Research, and they would find it.
It is. That's how I found you, and it was ars.usda.gov, and it goes on from there. And if folks are interested, they can always email the guys or myself, agorweather@flagfamily.com, and we'd happily share the email address with you. So
we'll also put it in our upload description on Facebook and YouTube of the video, the link to the website.
That's awesome.
That'd be great.
Thank you, Daren,
and if we want to
for joining us today.
Or some more questions come up, I'd happy to join you again. Just to follow up would be great.
Sure.
Well, that's a beautiful area of the country too. So
we could go out there, do the show
live
from the facility.
Little road trip. There you go.
Right.
Daren is in our Rolodex of experts now. So thank you again, Daren, for joining us today. Folks, we're going to pick up the American Ag Network with our markets and be back right after this.
Hey, it's Bonnie and Mastani from Bonnie and Friends. Join us weekday mornings beginning at 5. Coming up in our next show, we're going to be chatting with Sam Devick. Sam is a North Dakota 4-H pollinator habitat ambassador. What does that mean? What does Sam do? We will ask about it, as well as how we can help. And David Dietz, Preference Employment Solutions, will join us. We'll talk about the local job market and find out what employer benefits are trending in popularity right now. All this and more in the next Bonnie and Friends, beginning at 5 a.m. Join us.
Now is the perfect time to upgrade your kitchen with new appliances from Regals. Get up to $2,000 back on select GE Profile appliances now through June 1st, featuring the latest smart home technology, providing a simpler and smarter cooking and cleaning experience. Smart technology meets unbeatable prices, plus free delivery and free recycling of your old appliances. Find out why for over 75 years, Regals has delivered value. Regals, 609 Main Avenue, Moorhead.
What do eyewear and weather have in common? Join us for the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast to find out. Each Tuesday morning, Dean Wysocki, Justin Storm, and myself, Ashley Freeborn, owner of Aspire Optical, will bring you the 7-day forecast.
You never know where we'll be or how it will be presented, but we promise to bring you the most accurate forecast this side of the Red River.
And learn how you can save big on eyewear from Aspire Optical.
Watch the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages.
Trust us, this is weather and eyewear like you've never seen.
Foston Tri-Co-op is hiring an agronomy manager. Must have sales and agronomy experience, able to sell crop protection, fertilizer, and chemicals. College degree in agronomy or equal experience is preferred. Enjoy competitive salary and benefits, including health, long-term disability, dental, life insurance, HAS, paid vacation, and retirement match and profit sharing. Email resume to jen.howard@fostoncoop.com or call 218-435-6919 and ask for Brent. Foston Tri-Co-op, hiring an agronomy manager, and it could be you.
Mixed at midday in the markets. You're listening to the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen with this market update. We're joined now by Arlen Suderman, Chief Commodities Economist at StoneX for market analysis. Arlen, final trading day of the month of April. Seeing a bit of a recovery in this grain trade as we work through the session. It's been a pretty rough week, but overall finding a little support led by the soy complex and led by Kansas City wheat, it looks like here today, Arlen.
It really has. Most of the activity across the board has been in the front months. And when you consider the total washout that we've seen here going into today in these markets, you hope that we'd at least get a bounce. And at this point, that's all it looks like at this point is a bounce. But as you indicated, being the final trading day of the month ahead of the May contract expiration, we are getting some excitement, shall we say, in that May contract month that's going into delivery today. That's leading to some really volatile and erratic trade. For example, the Kansas City May contract has traded a 32-cent trading range today as people try to position in that contract and try to get a smooth, orderly exit out of it. But similar action in the May soybean contract and even the May corn contract. When you look at the deferred contracts, though, that's what's going to really be leading on the charts going forward after today. It looks like more of a bounce. I'll need to see a lot more follow through before I'm going to get very optimistic, considering how far these prices have broken here in recent days.
And again, that is market analysis with Arlen Suderman of StoneX. Over in the livestock trade, moderately higher in hogs with mixed activity seen in live and feeder cattle. Crude oil up $1.75 a barrel, 76.51. This is the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen reporting.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. I want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon. Not a bad day out there. Not a great day, but it's not snowing. So that's
beautiful outside. We got summer clouds and not winter clouds. Most of the snow is gone.
It's in the 40s.
Who cares? It's not in the 30s.
That's true. See, positive spin on
That's
things.
true.
Positive.
Yes.
What an interesting guess. We did have one email question that came in about asking if he stores any like rare species, like fertilized eagle eggs, in case something happens with them. So that's
And I did email that to Daren, and when he gets a chance to respond, we'll put that answer back out of here on air. And it might not be till Monday when we're back on, but we will make sure to answer that question for our listener.
So, well, let's do a quick recap of the weather. We've got a lot of clouds out there. We're at 53 degrees right now. Pretty breezy conditions out of the north, 15 to 25. 40s just off to the northwest of the FM area. So we've pretty much seen our high temperature of the day, 53. We might go up a degree or so, but cooler weather is going to funnel in as we head into the upcoming weekend, and might even see a few sprinkles this afternoon. Better chance for light rain tomorrow. Tomorrow's just not going to be a great Saturday. I mean, it's windy, on and off showers, temperatures in the 40s. That's just not your perfect weekend, that's for sure. Sunday still windy, but we should shut the rain off for the most part and maybe see a little bit of sun mixed in. But next week, a lot of sunny days on tap. We'll see a lot of drying out and temperatures finally warming back up into the 60s. That's where we should be for this time of the year. Finally, no doubt about it. So we'll start to get those soil temperatures to come up a little bit. That will help. And, a couple weeks we'll be out in the field and finally getting things going throughout much of the area. So I'm looking forward to it. I know the golf courses are open. I know Moorhead golf courses are open now. I don't know if I'd want to be out in 40-degree temperatures over the weekend golfing, but I'm sure there will be some people out there for sure just getting the itch to kind of golf.
Well, now because we're going to be planting very soon, are we past the possibility of a frost, guys? Are we going to be okay there?
Yeah.
No, we're not.
No.
We'll still have some cool mornings where we see that patchy frost. Yeah, not done with that quite yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right.
Oh, we got a
Hey,
few
and
more
we also
weeks.
have a giveaway today.
What are we giving away?
We have a giveaway.
We're going to give something away.
What?
It's going to be a My Pillow. We've been getting emails that we are to give away a My Pillow in our
I didn't get that email.
That's My Pillow. I deleted it from your email account. I thought I deleted it from yours too. We're putting the kibosh on that. All right, we can give it away. What do you want to do,
Thank you.
Bridget?
I'm going to say I'm saying it's caller number 5 has to get it.
Caller number
So
5.
it's up
There
to-
we go. You want to remind them of the Red Wing Shoes studio number?
That would be 701-293-9000. Give us a call. Caller number 5 to the Red Wing Shoe Studio line does get the My Pillow.
And I think it's the My Pillow
Pick it up.
2.0, if I'm not mistaken.
It might be.
I think it's the new one, and I've got 2 of them, and I like them. I mean, I think they're great. So
we're getting all sorts of calls in here. Hi, you're
And
caller
you got to
number
pick
1.
it
I'm
up at the
sorry.
front desk.
yeah, so you'll have to pick it up.
Look at that. I'm just going to skip 2, 3, 4. Hello, who is this?
Charlene.
Charlene, would you like a My Pillow?
I would love a My Pillow.
Well, you got yourself a My
Aw.
Pillow. You're caller number 5.
That's awesome.
Yeah, do you know where we're located at?
Are you by Thunder Road?
Yes, we
right
are.
next to it,
Just north of the
yeah.
fun park. So you can swing on up here sometime between now and 5 or Monday through Friday before 5 o'clock.
Awesome.
Or what were you going to say, Bridget?
The same thing you just did.
Oh,
and thank
awesome.
you, Charlene, for listening. We hope you're a regular listener here of Weather and Ag in Focus.
Oh, we love
Awesome.
to hear
Thank
that.
you.
Thanks for listening, Charlene.
Thanks,
stay
Charlene.
stay on the line. We're going to get a little information from you from our producer, okay?
Okay.
All right. Make sure I don't accidentally hang up on her like Dean did yesterday to our winner.
I did not hang up. I did not. We got disconnected.
I'm disconnected by this finger.
Disconnected.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Jason, call back if you want to win that rain gauge.
Yeah, or I just
Please.
shoot me an email. Yeah.
Yep.
But where were we? Oh, giving away the pillow.
Yeah,
and
we gave away the pillow. We're going to do that
and
sooner.
We already did the weather. You want to hit on a couple of ag topics here before we sign off for the weekend?
Oh, yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's a free-for-all. Why don't we just shoot from the hip here?
I got an idea.
Yeah?
Sure. Let her
Okay,
go.
so one of them that I had listed for today was talking about estate planning for farmers because the average age of the American farmer is 56 years old, and over 45% of them do not have a transition plan to the next generation for their farm, whether they're keeping the land, selling the land, if the non-farming siblings and children are going to get a piece of that land or of that farm versus maybe the one who did stay in his farming or the partnership. And so this is a reminder, it is never too early to start. Every Friday at 11:30 I host a Twitter chat, and one of my co-hosts here a few weeks back was a farmer from Ohio. He thought everything was going great until he had a motorcycle accident right around age 50, and then he realized all those great transition plans in his head were in his head. He hadn't actually told anybody. And so this is a major cause of stress in a lot of families, as well as for that individual. It can lead to anxiety, some depression because you're not sure what you want to do. So it's never too early to start thinking about those transition plans, folks. We might want to get a jump on that if we could.
Right.
Think about it while you're in the tractor. Make
And
some
you-
calls while you're planting.
What did you say the average age of the farmer was?
56.
Dean, that's how old you are, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You gonna have like a backup plan for when you got to give up your 0.15 acre farm, where that parcel of land's going to go to, perhaps? Maybe a close friend standing like, I don't know, 5 feet to your right or something, or that's your left.
The other
That's
right.
the other right.
The other
You
right.
know, the right.
I haven't made up anything yet, but now that you mentioned it, I will. Thank you.
Crayons maybe don't count.
Well,
maybe you want to
crayons
make that a
and
little more formal.
crayons on a napkin won't work.
As long as
Right.
we get a
Pictures.
notarizer, I think we're okay there.
Okay.
Hey, well, I want to thank everyone for listening to us today. The rest everyone has a happy rest of their Friday and a great weekend, although a bit on the windy side. Make the best of it. Remember, we're dropping our Here We Grow videos. If you want to follow along on our journey on us planting 20 acres of soybeans, follow us on YouTube. Weather and Ag in Focus. Until then, again, have a great rest of the day. The Jay Thomas Show is coming up next.
AM 97.